thank you. I want to say thank you for doing this interview with me for my class. And today we're going to discuss pets and animals. Would that be okay with you?
That'd be great.
Okay, so I understand that you're quite an animal lover.
I am.
And can you remember your first pet?
I've had a lot of pets, but mostly I have dogs. But I was raised on a farm, and I had lambs, and I had sheep, and I had pigs and cows, and guineas and chickens, and dogs and cats, and a pony.
So were you taking care of farm animals then?
Yes.
Like they were pets?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, it's fun because my dad raised animals to sell, and then there were some that were runts or that weren't really good, and so he would give those to me, and I would hand raise them. And then generally they just kind of stayed around as pets.
Is there one of those pets that stands out to you in particular?
Oh gosh, I think my favorite dog was Bullet. His name was Bullet. He was a Cocker Spaniel. And I wouldn't let him cut his tail off because they wanted to cut his tail off because that's the thing you do with Cocker Spaniels. And so he was my favorite pet of all because he was so loyal to me, and we just did everything together.
So what kinds of things did you do with Bullet?
Well, I lived on a farm, so we had a woods, and first we'd play in the woods, and he was like a sibling, sort of, because I didn't have any brothers or sisters. And so we would use my imagination, and he would just go along, and I would pretend that he was a brother or whatever, and we'd talk and have picnics, and like if I had a popsicle, I'd give him half the popsicle, and we just played a lot.
Were any of those farm animals particularly difficult
Well,
to take care of?
we did have a pony that was ornery, just ornery. I rode him, and he was, rideable and all, but one time we took a ride, and we were riding down a country road, and so he just was kind of contrary, so he decided he didn't want to run anymore, so he just put his brakes on, his feet down, and I flew off of him.
Oh no.
And so I was probably about maybe 8 years old at that time. And so I got really upset with that, so I just got on him, got right back on him, and always rode barefoot, and, definitely a little tom girl. And so got on that pony and just drove him back to the house.
How did your parents respond to that incident?
I was raised around animals for, all my life, or young life, so it really wasn't a big issue. My dad was grateful and that I at least got back on the horse, so to speak, and got back on and rode him home. I wasn't scared of him.
So do you have any pets today, now?
I do. I have a rescue dog. His name is Jazz. He's part terrier, American Terrier, and part what's the dog with the wrinkly skin?
A pug?
No. Sharpei. Sharpei.
What made you decide to get a rescue dog?
Well, we had dogs for almost all of our lives, and my husband and we've got the dog gene. So we lost a beagle 3 years ago, and we pretty much thought we were finished with dogs. But like I said, we have the dog gene, and so we decided to just look around at the dog camp at the Warwick County Humane Society. We don't ever go in just to look around.
Right.
One catches your heart. And so my husband saw this little puppy, and he was the last puppy there. And so he says, I think this is a good one. And I was saying, oh, let's talk about it. No, I think he'll be fine, because I knew he was going to be a larger dog. And his feet were bigger, and, with the breed that he was mixed with, I knew he was going to be big, and I wanted a smaller dog. But he won, and I lost, and we brought him home, and he's been with us for 3 years now.
And what do you enjoy the most about Jazz?
I think he's just his personality. personality is funny because he's very particular. For a dog that came from a pound, he's just, he's finicky. He wants to walk in clean grass. He doesn't want to get mud on his feet. He doesn't like to go out in the rain. Um, he's funny because he's so particular.
And what is the most difficult thing about Jazz, do you think?
Jazz, since he is American Terrier and Shar-Pei's mix, he comes on pretty strong. And if you don't know that, if you don't know him, then you think that he's being aggressive when he just doesn't know how big he is. And so he comes real fast, and it does, it frightens people. And so unless they know him, they're frightened of him. And I wish I could get him to not do that, but he's just so a people person, or dog, sorry, people dog, that he just really becomes just being so excited, to see every day. But he's doing a little better with that, and he loves children, he loves other animals. I can't say he loves cats. He really doesn't love cats, he likes to chase stuff. But he had a cat that turned around and slugged him in his nose, and so he stopped chasing that cat. But that's probably the hardest thing about Jazz is to get him to be more relaxed when he approaches people.
Okay, well, Susan, I'd like to thank you for talking with me.
Well, you're welcome. I enjoyed it.